Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Binkle Monkey, and Nintendo just dropped a brand new Nintendo Direct for all the stuff they got coming up the rest of the year, and I desperately owe you guys content. My apologies there, it's been very busy lately. So let's hop into it, shall we? So up first was the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It looks like more Pokemon, you know? It doesn't really tell you much about what you'll be doing. There'll be some masks. There's a blueberry out in the water, but that place seemed to be filled with Gen 5 Pokemon. Like I saw some Whimsicott, I saw Zebstrika. I did not see Drillbur or Escadrill, and they're my boys, so that was a little disappointing. But yeah, this looks like more Pokemon. I don't think they did anything to fix our performance issues. They did give us some people who are ashamed of their noses, apparently. They just will not show us their noses. But yeah, more Pokemon and more Pokemon playing in that open world environment. It should be a good time. Then we got another look at Sonic Superstars, other than from the Summer Game Fest, and it still looks great. It still looks like a game I'm super excited to play. And it is 4-player local co-op. That's gonna be so fun. What happens when your friend dies? Do they come back as like Tails did in Sonic 2 where they just like float in? Do they die? How do lives work in this game? There's a lot of questions. Also, Fang. Fang is back from Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear. I'm excited. I had that game as a kid. I want more of that. This is going to be a good game. Next was the first of only 2 farming games this time around. Only 2. They really pared it down from the last couple directs. Yeah, this looks fine. Not my cup of tea, which you can probably make in that kitchen they showed. But yeah, it's just a free-to-play farming game. Little life sim. It's cute. And then they brought out a Persona 5 XCOM game that looks like a lot of fun. If only I had played Persona 5. I'm a bad RPG fan at this point. I will be getting to that eventually. It's just, you know, it's a big game. It's a lot of time commitment. But yeah, that looks fun. Looks good. Once I get that game under my belt, I'll be trying this one out maybe. And then they trotted out Myth Force, which looks amazing. The weird rotoscope art style and like the He-Man inspiration and everything. This looks like fun. Playing with your friends online, doing some high fantasy stuff. This is gonna be a blast. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Myth Force. Sometime this year. We get Myth Force sometime this year. Next, it was the Splatfest theme for Splatoon 3. I enjoy me some Splatoon 3. And I love that the theme was ice cream because they had to go vanilla, strawberry, and mint chip, because if they did the logical thing of chocolate, we'd be shooting poo out of our guns. And I guess Nintendo's a little too PC for that, huh? Hopefully I have that weekend off and I can play it even. We'll see. We'll see. Life is crazy like that sometimes. And then we got a new Detective Pikachu game. I'd never played the first one, but I watched the movie, and apparently Pikachu's kind of a doof, and he's not voiced by Danny DeVito or Ryan Reynolds, but he loves coffee. Keeps talking about coffee. But the best thing about the whole trailer, and maybe the entire Nintendo Direct, was Slowpoke wearing a cowboy hat. Come on now. That's the best thing they've shown us so far. And maybe the entire selling point for that game. If Slowpoke with a cowboy hat is a main character in this Detective Pikachu game, I am here for it. I will buy this game. But next, they announced the biggest thing for me by a long shot. A remake of Super Mario RPG. That means we finally get to see Geno again for the first time in what feels like forever. Geno and Mallow, Square Enix are letting Nintendo have them back for a minute, and I could not be happier about it. The one thing that I'm not sure about though is the art style. I feel like it's kind of missing some of the charm that the original had, but you know, maybe they could have done that 2D on 3D background thing that they've done with like Live a Live and the Octopath Traveler series. But like the user interface looks kind of generic. I don't know, there's some things that they could have done better, but holy cow, we're getting remixed music, updated everything, probably new game mechanics. It's super exciting. I am really excited to play this one. But they weren't done there with their Mario announcements. They got a brand new Princess Peach game coming out. They didn't give us much about it except that it's on a stage and her dress changes color, but excited to find out more about what that's about. And then they announced that they're doing a graphic remaster on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, a game I've never played. I've never played any of the Luigi's Mansion games, but I hear they're good, so maybe I'll pick that one up since it's just going to be hanging out on the Switch, you know? Those Mario fans are eating good right now. They have a lot to look forward to, but mostly Super Mario RPG. Holy shit, that's amazing. And then they brought out the Arkham Trilogy, the Batman Arkham Trilogy. Like all 3 games, one package, which is cool. It's really cool. It's got all the DLC too. Maybe that's really the selling point. Maybe some of that DLC disappeared. I didn't do my research on that. Yeah, it's weird to see these be like a big announcement. They're pretty old and pretty readily available. But hey, Batman on the Switch, nothing wrong with that. These are good games. Up next was Gloomhaven, a board game I've never played, turned into a video game that really did not look very good. Like whenever it showed the gameplay, I don't know if it was just my screen or not, but it looked really laggy and glitchy. I don't know. I hope that they get this game looking a little better before they put it out to market, but it looks like it's coming out in September, and I don't know that it should, because that gameplay looked rough. Does anybody actually play Just Dance? I've never met a soul that is like a Just Dance fanatic. But we get 40 new tracks here in the 2024 edition. We got like some new songs by Miley Cyrus and Bad Bunny, some like current stuff, but then also I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston somehow hasn't been on there before. That's kind of surprising. Also Sail by AWOL Nation, performed by a creepy pirate. That's a weird song to finally be making its way onto Just Dance. Up next was this game that I kind of went back and forth on a lot, because it looks like a cool little RPG roguelike thing, but then it also looks kind of cliche, but then it can also be cliche and fun. Like, I'm all here for like the mystery of why people can't talk and all of this, but there was something about the princess being able to talk and being trapped in a shell of her own tears. I thought that was a little much. But yeah, this might be a fun time for someone who wants a chibi little roguelike. And then they went to a set of things they said let sparks fly on, and I'm not sure why this second of 2 farming games belonged there. I didn't see a lot of sparks, but it's cute. I won't be playing it. Then we got a Hot Wheels game that looks pretty fun. It's pretty cool that you get to make your own Hot Wheels tracks. I haven't had Hot Wheels in, forever, but I do remember making my own tracks and having a good time with that, so that looks pretty fun. And then they gave us this Manic Mechanic game, which is just Overcooked, but with cars. I don't know. This looks just like a skin swap of Overcooked, which is a perfectly good game as is. And then they announced some Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC, paid DLC mind you, and it looks fun. I've not played any of these, but it really doesn't tell you what the DLC is talking about other than you go to a world of music, so I don't know. But it was probably going to be a good time. Probably. And then Dragon Quest Pokemon Edition comes up, where you are like gathering the monsters from the game, the iconic monsters, and probably some weird other new ones, and you make a team, because you're not allowed to fight. You've been cursed. So you make a team out of these little creatures and do yourself some RPG Pokemon battle stuff. There was a Pickle? I saw a Pickle. And that would be my whole team. It's just a bunch of pickles if I'm allowed to get duplicates. Team Pickle Party up in here. And at the end of it, there's a little sneak peek of a green-haired hero that I only know because I played Smash Bros. So I don't know which game he's from. But if you do, you should let me know in the comments below. I want to know which Dragon Quest the green-haired hero is from. And then we got our big, long look at Pikmin IV, which is looking really fun. They've added a lot of features that make it seem like it's going to be a bigger, more expansive experience than any of them before. Extra weird battles of collecting things, going inside people's houses, glow-in-the-dark Pikmin. If that's your jam, you got it now. And your dog buddy's going to steal the show, I'm pretty sure. He looks cute as hell and is very useful. Got a lot of utility out of Dog Boy. And if you're like me and haven't played the first Pikmin games, those are going to be coming onto the Switch too, so that's super exciting. Then I thought it was pretty funny that Nintendo's announcing a Metal Gear Solid compilation right after Sony announces a remake of Snake Eater. It's going to have all those games on it too. So take your pick, I guess. If you can't get the remake as well, at least you can play all these classic games, which are really hard to get your hands on. They are not like PC games. You cannot find them most places. So this is pretty exciting to get these re-released and not as a pachinko machine. Way to go, Konami. Thumbs up. Then we got Vampire Survivor coming to the Switch, which I'm surprised it wasn't there already, but the idea that you can do 4-player local co-op, that's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun to do together. I think that one's going to be a good party game for a while. And then they completely changed tone and started talking about these dumb pigeons. This game does not excite me. The pigeons look phallic. I can't say it any other way. They look like dicks. These are dick pigeons. And they're going to do some rhythm games, I guess. I don't like how they move. I don't like how they look. The games don't look enticing. And of course it's coming out on Halloween, so they can, kind of just bury it because everyone will be out doing Halloween stuff instead. And if maybe I'm completely wrong, maybe it's going to be a jam, but to me this looks dumb. This looks pretty dumb. And then next they showed off Penny's Big Breakaway, which I'd heard nothing about, but it looks great. It looks like a PS1 game, but with crazy momentum mechanics that looks so fun to get good at. Like rolling around on that yo-yo and then flinging yourself with it. Just that looks like fun. This is a game I want to get good at. I hope it has like enough meat to it to let me do that. And it's the people who made Sonic Mania, so hopefully it's got good people on it. It could be a really great game. And then they announced Wave 5 of courses for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The bathroom level made me think it was going to be like a reference to the Mario movie because they do that plumbing scene, but I don't see a dog, and the sink doesn't look right, but it's pretty inventive and cute. I like it. I like the vibe here. And then you can play as PD Piranha if you really wanted to. Or Wiggler. That's definitely my favorite of the 3 new characters. Getting Wiggler, that's weird. But then the announcer said how you say the last character.
Kamek.
And I've never heard it pronounced that way. It's always been Kamek around me. Kamek. But it's Kamek? How do you pronounce it where you're from? How does your family say Kamek? Do they say Kamek? Let me know in the comments. I think that's a weird thing to hear. Kamek. And then they announced a 2D on 3D Star Ocean the Second Story remake that looks beautiful. I think that maybe Super Mario RPG should have used this look. I think that would have kept that charm that game needs. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the right way. They're doing it the right way. But this game looks great. I've never played this Star Ocean game, but they're all great games, these early ones especially. My only complaint with this trailer is watching the little mouths move on the flat characters models. I think that's really creepy looking, but battle looks fun. The world looks gorgeous. I know this one has a good story according to a couple friends of mine who love this game. A big announcement for anyone who is a big Star Ocean fan back on the PlayStation. This will be a big get for them. I thought we just got a new Wario game, but apparently we're getting another, but it's looking as weird as ever, and you do a lot of moving. My favorite little thing they showed was the skier who had the crazy long legs. We also got Wario the tank engine. That's not nightmare fuel at all. But yeah, another WarioWare game for those who celebrate. And then they did a little plug for Nintendo Live up in Seattle, coming in September. That feels like it's going to be expensive to go to, even if it's a free event. You apparently have to win tickets, kind of. I'm not sure how it all works, but I'm not from over there. I'm not in the Pacific Northwest at all. But it looks like it's going to be a fun time. And then they started talking about Tears of the Kingdom. And I have to imagine some big Zelda fanboys started hyperventilate and get real anxious and be like, oh my god, are we getting DLC already? Are we getting DLC already? No, you're getting 2 amiibos. Sorry, that's all there is. Just 2 amiibos. But they did give us a nice bow for all the money we gave them. You spent a lot of money buying our game, and we appreciate it. But then, the final announcement of the Nintendo Direct, at first I was not hyped about. It's just another 2D Mario looking game at first. But then you get deeper into it, and all this weird stuff starts happening, like Piranha Plant climbing out of its pipe and knocking hippos around. Then the pipe started moving. Yeah, everything is just bonkers, crazy bonkers. Oh, and he stretched. He stretched real weird too, and he turned into an elephant and a ball. This game is a Mario acid trip, and nothing is going to be what it seems. It's gonna be a wild, weird, wonderful time. Super Mario Wonder. Just full of shenanigans. I like my Mario games weird, and they are coming through for me here. This game is gonna be nuts. It is coming out in October. This one's been under the radar for a long time. This is going to be really fun. And that was the entire Nintendo Direct. Highlights for me were definitely Super Mario RPG and Super Mario Wonder. not too many farming sims. That's a win. Pikmin 4 looks great. I'm excited to try out some Pikmin time. But yeah, this was a pretty solid showing. No new Zelda stuff except for 2 amiibos and a bunch of random third-party stuff, but that's to be expected from Nintendo. All in all, pretty good, pretty good. Enough to keep you hyped about your Switch while they don't give you a new console, despite it being old and decrepit a little bit. But that's going to do it for me right here. Thank you so much for watching. What games are you excited about? Let me know in the comments. Also, like, share, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff. But most importantly, have a good one.